if you guys can hear and participate with your audio, then we can get started.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead, Judy.
Okay, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. I appreciate the fact that you're all there, and I would like to welcome Al Rosecrans to our committee. Thank you so much, Al, for agreeing to serve. It's great to have you with us. Oh, here's Kathy Aldridge as well.
Hi,
Do you see
Kathy.
that? Do you see that, Nancy? I mean, Karen?
Yep, I got her.
Good.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Hi,
Good to have
Kathy.
you.
Oh, good. There she's got her audio and her video running. Great. So I'd also have just welcomed Al, and I'd really like to welcome Kathy as well. Kathy and I sat down together for about an hour last week and had a very nice discussion. I really appreciated the time that you spent with me last week, Kathy. Thank you so much. I was very keen to learn that Kathy used to bring her mom to the senior center when her mom was still with us, and that her mom enjoyed not only the meals, but the company and some of the activities. And so Kathy's quite familiar with the senior center as well. So welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
So it says Nancy is with us, but also Nancy and Dana are sitting together. So we have Al, who's a member, sitting with Karen, Al Rosecrans. Dennis Lardy, he's not able to get his video up there. We don't know why. He doesn't either. He's our treasurer. We have we raise money at the senior center for some of our projects, and he's our treasurer. And then Nancy Hoyland and Dana Conley are with us. Dana used to be the cook in the kitchen, and Nancy used to run the center, so they're very familiar with the senior center, and they have a great love not only for the senior center but for our patrons as well. So welcome all. Hope you've had a chance to look over the agenda. Just ask if there are additions or changes to the agenda. Hearing none, we'll take it as approved. After the last meeting on 2/17, I sent out the minutes from the last meeting. Did everyone get a chance to look at those? If so, could we have a motion to approve?
Dana, I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion about the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, so I'll send those up to the clerk then. When I was talking with Kathy, she volunteered to serve as our secretary, so I would like to nominate Kathy Aldridge as the secretary for the Senior Services Advisory Board. Might I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Welcome, Kathy.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Yay, we have a secretary. Thank you, Kathy.
That was real emotional. She was real happy.
So next is a treasurer's report. Dennis, do you want to say anything tonight, or do you want to wait till April?
I'll wait till next month.
Okay, I have a bunch of paperwork I'm going to bring you that I found last week.
I appreciate that.
Background information. Do we have a public?
I do not see any members of the public.
All right, old business. So Karen posted the senior center coordinator's position. It was open for about 2 weeks, wasn't it, Karen? Maybe 3?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And she shared the position description with us. And Karen, could you tell us how that's going?
I would love to. So I received 5 applications. Only 2 were well qualified. I'll put it that way, very well qualified. One decided to withdraw from the candidacy and not be interviewed. I interviewed the second, it's a young lady, and I am contemplating making her an offer. She has indicated to me that if she's offered the job, she could probably start, I believe she said April 21st.
Wow. And what's her background? Can you share that with us?
I can. She obtained, Taylor, can you help me where she obtained her degree from?
Yes, she obtained her bachelor's in social work, in sociology, excuse me, from Olivet College with a minor in gerontology. And then she is currently enrolled in a master's program through Michigan State for a master's in social work.
And
Wow.
she has an extensive background in hospice and adult living facilities. She has done programming with older adults, as well as through hospice. She would sit with people that were transitioning through to their final stages, and very much appreciates her time with older adults. And I think she's going to be a good fit.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I take it she's not local.
No,
but-
she is local.
Oh, great.
Yes, she is local. She comes from a very good local family, and her mom and dad have both contributed and volunteered for the township. So
Oh my gosh, fantastic.
yeah,
Wow.
it's
Well,
exciting. And this fits in with her schedule of attending her master's program. So she's very excited.
Well,
So
that's fantastic. I look
Yeah.
forward to meeting her if you offer her the job.
yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the only thing that stopped me this week is we had a couple of people resign from the township. So we've just had a lot to deal with, and we've been doing audit prep. So I hope to be able to offer her that position next week.
Great, great.
Piqued our ears. Can you tell us who resigned?
We had somebody resign from DPW, Mike Goodwin, and then Parks and Recreation Coordinator Becky Goodwin.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Time to retire, huh?
Yeah, I think Mike's ready to do some fishing.
Great. He's been talking about that off and on for years.
Thank you.
Oh, I think Judy just muted herself on accident.
Oh. I can
How do you do that? I'm trying to do it on purpose.
Dana.
Listen, what do you want to
Okay.
do that for?
Well, that's really good news.
Yes.
Nancy or Dana, there's a little red microphone at the very bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And if you just tap that, you can mute yourself, and then you tap it when you want to unmute.
Problem is, we don't have the same screen. Remember, we don't have
The video.
what you have.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So thank you for that information, Karen. And you said that she might start April 21st?
That's what she indicated during the interview, that she could start around April 21st.
Great, great. I had a call, we're on staff updates now. I had a call from Mary
Mhm.
last week, and she said that you are working with Park Lake Creamery for
We
some
are.
Easter treats
We
for
are,
our 100 seniors that we've been treating in Bath Township at holidays.
yes,
And
yes.
I understand that most of us have volunteered to assist with the delivery.
That's correct.
So that's great. And I think that's going to happen on April 1st. Is that right?
I don't have the date from Mary, but if that's what she told you, that's probably correct.
Because Easter's the 4th. I think that's what she
Yeah.
told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving along, were you able to, or did you post the assistant cook's position?
We
When
will
you,
be posting that. Taylor has, after tonight, will be on vacation for a few days. When she returns next week, we will post that. Mary and I spoke about that. That'll be live for a couple of weeks, and then we will review those together to find an assistant cook.
so did you say that Mary's going on vacation?
No, Taylor,
Taylor's going on vacation.
sorry. She's the one that does all the posting, so.
Right, right. So the next thing I have written down on the agenda is scheduling for the senior center contacts via phone. At the last meeting, we had talked about whether or not we would let people know when Mary was at the center to take phone calls. I don't know if anything's happened with that, but has she got relatively consistent hours at the senior center, so that's something that could be posted?
Yes, I think that we could do that. Why don't we work towards doing that for next week? She usually comes in on Thursdays because of a meal distribution program that takes place outside of the center. So I'm sure that we could arrange for her to have some hours there next Thursday.
That'd be great. I think it's
Okay.
just good for people to know that she's around, so that's
Yep.
great. The next thing on the agenda is the COVID shot clinic update. Might that be something that is considered once we bring in the coordinator?
Certainly. I know that you had contact, I believe, with Marcus. Marcus has not reached out to me. Have you heard anything from Marcus?
Only through his YouTube videos in which
Yep.
he's crying out for community partners. I
Yeah,
was wondering if maybe we ought to talk to the school district and do a joint, we might do a joint clinic, the township and the school district, maybe in the athletic, back by the athletic fields, we could do a drive-through or something. Because most of those kids in the high school and their parents, starting next week, I think, will be eligible for vaccination. And if you look at all those kids and the staff and our seniors and anyone else in the community who needs to be vaccinated, what is our percentage of vaccinations, Karen?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I listened to the video today. I'm not even gonna garner a guess because I'm sure I'll get it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're probably not nearly at 70%, which is the goal.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that we have tons of people left in the township to vaccinate, and maybe that would be a good collaborative project that we could do with the district.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the superintendent and see if he is interested in that. And then maybe we can circle back to Marcus with that offer.
Right, because when he talked to me about it, he said, you set something up and I'll send you the National Guard.
Okay,
All right.
well, I'll tell Paul that, Paul Hartzig.
Right. Haven't seen him for a while. He was a Lion for a while, but I haven't seen him for a while. So we really have no idea at this point when we will resume meal preparation.
Mm-mm.
What is the status of the kitchen in the senior center right now?
So I just reapplied for, I guess, to extend our food license for another year. I just turned that paperwork in with a check request, so our license is fully up and running. They did call to make sure that we hadn't been cooking. I'm not sure, I didn't speak with the gentleman that called. That was relayed to me by staff, but he just inquired to see if we had been cooking. And we told him, no, we had not been cooking. Mary and I are shooting for the potential at the end of May for us to be up and operational. And our thought is everything that we have read indicates you should start slow. So I was thinking either Monday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Friday, but starting with like 2 to 3 days a week. And that allows you to thoroughly disinfect and clean between people coming into your center, and for you to make sure that there are no exposures and different things of that nature. So
Have you
what do
thought
you
at all
think?
about reservations, just so we can keep the numbers?
we have talked about that. Now, what we don't know at this time, because now you can have 3 households together and the limits have come up a little bit from the government.
Right,
We don't know how many people they're gonna allow in. So that's what's hard is right now, if we could say, yes, it's 25 people, we could plan for that, but really we don't know the number, what it's
yeah,
gonna be.
restaurants are at 50%.
But unfortunately, right now it's a percentage because we can only seat 85.
Right,
It's a percentage of what we can seat and still maintain the distance with people.
right.
So that limits us a little bit.
Well, hopefully by May, we'll have a lot more people.
Vaccinated.
Yeah, by the end of the May,
Yeah.
we'll have a lot more people vaccinated. And I think even though we have to continue to wear masks and be very conscientious of what we're doing and how we're behaving, I think that the vaccination process brings a lot more people into the stream of feeling comfortable and confident that they can be with other people.
I would agree.
It is a big adjustment though. I
It
mean,
is.
even if and when we open at the end of May, people might still be leery.
Yes, they may. Mary did say too, that if she knows a number of people that can come in and sit, and we were taking reservations, she could package, and her thought is to package things to go, even if they're eating in the center, because then they can take it with them, and we're not dealing with people's dirty dishes and things like that, but they can take it with them. But that also means we could pack extra to-goes and people could reserve them and come get them and take them home.
Yeah, I'd be happy to work with you guys on that if you need that kind of help to look at
Yeah.
logistically how that would work, or
Yeah,
you know, whether we take reservations and how much in advance they would have to. In some of the senior centers that I've spoken with who are doing that, they're just using credit cards and they have a credit card reader, so they're not exchanging
And that's-
money. You know,
Mary thought about that too. She
money
had
is
some thoughts on
money
that.
is- money is very dirty.
Yes,
And people could buy, you know, on their credit card, a meal ticket for 10 meals, and they could just get punched, and
Yep.
it just limits the amount of contaminate or potential
Mm-hmm.
contaminants that are cross contamination between people.
yeah. And we do have a credit card reader that we have for the farmer's market. I mean, that's a
Oh.
possibility that we could utilize that. I could speak with Steve. Or we could take a check, maybe,
Right.
and do the punch cards.
Right, that was
Um,
another thing that some of them do is take
Yeah.
checks. I think-
So
I think in our publicity, we need to have this,
Yeah.
as you're doing, thought out, and what the options are and what the best for all of us, and
yes.
then the rationale that goes behind it.
So I think once we have our new young coordinator online and Mary back in, that might be a really great thing for you to sit with them and run through those logistics. That might be helpful for them, because I think whoever is the coordinator and whoever's doing the punching or the whatever we're doing, that would be good to have all those people at the table. Talk about that.
Right, right.
Now, cash should be okay because these seniors usually deal in cash. But that's just my thoughts, my
Yeah.
opinion. I have no problem using cash.
Well, and we have, I mean, we have, for the ladies up front, we have gloves, we have hand sanitizer. So even if we were handling cash, we can still
I think
have the ability to wash their hands or use protectant. So,
A lot of
Attitude.
people who are handling cash are wearing rubber gloves or
Yeah,
plastic gloves.
yeah, we could make that happen.
I mean, $3 or $30 on my charge card. I'm going to choose $3.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Right.
What do you think?
I think that the card worked out good, but if somebody passes away,
Mhm.
there's money on that card,
Yeah, that's
and it
true.
has to go back
To
to the
somebody.
family. I know, did we get rid of all of the money on the cards?
We did.
You got them all back to the
We-
people?
We thought it was fiscally responsible because sometimes people were short on money to give that money back to them.
Yeah,
So we wrote checks back to everyone that had money on cards at the senior center.
Good.
well, if you're going to concern yourself about the punch cards and leftover money, I would think you could put a little disclosure is if you pass away, the remaining amount could either be donated or returned. And I
Sure.
think you'll get most of them just donated. I mean, because it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's don't,
Yeah,
the least that we change for the seniors when they come back, the better they're going to be.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about, oh my God, they only take charge cards. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Let them come back and
Yeah.
don't make changes.
Well, it's my hope that we could begin communicating with them, at the end of April, and then, in a couple of weeks, and then in a couple of weeks, and then hopefully we're open, where we're able to share with them what they can expect when they come in.
Okay.
So it's not a complete surprise.
But
How do you feel about activities, Karen? Have you and Mary talked at all about maybe bingo with paper cards? and-
Bingo, I feel like there are some things and certainly you can all weigh in because you're a card player. I think that bingo is easy to coordinate and keep everyone separate. I'm a little bit more worried about card playing, but I don't, you can't stay 6 feet away from each other in card play.
Well, yeah, you could have a 6-foot table, and stay farther apart. The amazing thing is the seniors that used to play on Sunday, a lot of them are playing over at Royal Scott. And they haven't had one person that has come down with the COVID.
But I, as a government agency,
Yeah, I
right now
realize that.
can't let
Right.
people.
Well, I'm not talking about right now.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to think through
Yeah.
what can they do together? I mean, we've got a new puzzle table, we've got the books, we've got, they can play bingo. I just don't know what else can we do with them that's fun, that we can do with them logistically. I mean, I can hold 2 sessions of bingo a week when we open.
Yeah.
And let a certain group play and then let a certain group play. But go ahead, Judy, I'm sorry.
Well, also I know that seniors love trivia.
Oh,
I mean, and it's an activity that doesn't require you to be next to each other. So, perhaps we could look at some trivia.
Seniors over here don't like trivia.
Yeah.
The ones in this house don't, but that's okay.
I also think that as far as playing cards at a 6-foot table, you could have 4 people at a table playing cards. Whereas if you're playing bingo, you're going to have a bigger group at a table than 4 people. That I'm certain of.
So Nancy and Alan, are you suggesting that we use the round, that if we were to play cards, we would use the round tables rather than the card tables?
I
Yeah.
think it would be very difficult to play on a 6-foot table, to play euchre.
yeah,
I mean,
those are,
the center of the
Yeah.
table is how far?
how big are those?
Ours are 6.
So you would be 6 foot across from the person, but the person sitting between you wouldn't be 6 feet away.
Well,
No.
if,
Well, we're gonna be a little while before
Yeah.
we get
Okay,
into
Dana,
this
say it.
anyway.
Can we all think about things and come back with ideas or share ideas with each other? Cause I'm stumped on that one.
Go ahead, Dana.
we've been playing cards for months.
Yeah, but I can't let you play cards in my hall right now in the senior.
Well, and that's because of the 6 feet restrictions.
It's the 6 feet, it's the how many people I can have together at a table. If I can only have 2 or 3 households at a table, I mean, I could have a husband, wife play a husband and wife, but
Even with mask, correct?
yeah, I think it says that you can only have 2 to 3 households together at a time. Like even at a restaurant, you can only have, I think, 3 households at a table.
Is this the new stuff that's open now? Because I think even where Doris is at,
Senior housing,
the senior, yeah, it's not senior.
independent living or
Oh,
nursing places.
Yeah.
yeah.
Facilities with seniors in.
And they might be under different rules. It's just for me, I'm a public building.
Quit being a public building then.
I'll
All
just
right.
put me in a township. I logistically, it's a nightmare. I wish it wasn't. But I don't, the problem is that we have a kitchen which lends itself to the health department, and they're gonna have their eye on us for a while because they want to make sure this vulnerable population is safe. So I'm a little worried that we're kind of out there for people to look in on us.
So, okay,
Maybe
so
I'm wrong.
we're not able to serve in-house, right? But we could possibly serve,
No,
As a
we can
to-go?
serve, we can serve food. I'm worried about like card playing becomes a logistical problem.
So just to clarify, Karen,
Yeah.
Nancy, Karen said that at the end of May, what they're considering is having the kitchen open,
Mhm.
serving meals 3 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week,
Mhm.
serving them in to-go containers. So you have a choice. You can sit down with your friends and eat your meal, or you could get your meal to go. Is
Okay,
that correct, Karen?
Yes. But the.
so,
and I think-
so,
Yeah,
so at the end of May, I could sit down at a table, a 6-foot table with how many of my friends without a mask and be okay?
well, it's possible that it's you and, let's say you and Emmett, and you sit together, and then your distance from, let's say Dana, and then your distance from Judy. You can, at this time, I think you can have 3 households together at a table.
That will be okay.
That's my understanding.
Is that without a mask though?
If you're eating, I think without a mask is okay.
Okay, all right.
Well, why
So-
don't we wait until the
Yeah,
middle
and
of
that's what's
May?
hard, is I don't know what the rules will be at the end of May.
Right.
And what kind of liability are we opening ourselves up to? You know, if someone were to get
Griselda.
COVID from one of these card games or whatever and die, can the family sue us?
Possibly. I mean, anybody can sue anybody. I mean, what we have to make sure we have in place are protocols about how we are allowing people to come together, and then protocols about how we're cleaning, and protocols about what we do if someone is exposed or comes down with COVID, and how we notify other people that we're with that person. So
All right.
it's a lot of planning. And we may be in a very different place. I know right now we're having a resurgence. We're up 300% from where we were in February. But by May, when we're all hopefully closer to vaccinated, I hope we're in a different place. I just, it's time will tell, I guess.
Yeah,
Not
if-
talking politics,
I know.
because, yeah,
So is everyone going to have to be vaccinated?
That's not something I've, right now, the board has mandated that our police department, our police officers have to be vaccinated. They're considering a proposal to make all of our employees be vaccinated, but they have not indicated they're interested in making sure everyone that comes to the senior center is vaccinated.
Okay.
okay.
So I guess if everyone was vaccinated, there shouldn't be any problem of transmitting a disease then.
Well, you can still transmit. They're hoping that the shots are to make sure the symptoms of the disease of the COVID aren't as harsh on your body, that they don't kill you, I guess. It doesn't mean you're not going to get it.
Oh, okay.
That's not what the shot does. It's supposed to lessen the symptoms if you were to get it. That's my understanding.
Judy?
It does protect us from being severely ill. Alan?
Yeah. I have a problem with telling Dana or Nancy or Dennis or you, Judy, that you have to get it to come to the senior center.
I have a problem with you telling me that too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you have a problem with me telling you anything.
Oh, now that's not true.
But I think that maybe we've got to really make sure that when somebody comes in to eat, that they're not sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we have to take
We're
their
going to take everyone's temperature?
Yes.
yeah,
That's easy.
We're gonna ask people if they've had symptoms, if they have symptoms now, if they've been anywhere dangerous. Not dangerous, where they've been exposed.
No, I think that's the responsible thing to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, if Judy comes in, and no offense, Judy, and she's, she's got a runny nose and she looks flushed, she might be asked to leave until she feels better, which could be the next day or the next couple of days, or be encouraged to go get a test before she comes back. But certainly, I do think we get into dangerous territory if we're asking people, if we mandate that people have to be.
If you mandate somebody and then they get sick and die from
Yeah.
the shot, then you're liable too.
Yeah. But I think the screening is key. So I think that's where we focus.
I suggest we move on and take this back up when we're a month closer.
Okay,
So we've got April and
yep.
we would have a whole month or 6 weeks to figure out for the end of May to policies and stuff. And
We'll know
I'm
more
willing
even
to
next
work
month.
on those.
Yeah, we'll know more.
Good. So next on our agenda is the question about whether or not we might consider, as a Senior Services Advisory Board, hosting an off-site event where it would be a luncheon and an afternoon of bingo, something like that, that we might do someplace like the Wildlife Pub. Is there any interest in that?
I'm not opposed.
I'm not opposed either.
Are you opening yourself up to a liability by taking your seniors someplace and serving them food or letting them play bingo?
Well, if they went to the Wildlife Pub, they'd have to go through a screening, I think, as well, where, well, they probably do contact tracing where they'd have to at least register with their name and address in case someone got sick, they'd be called. I think there are potential issues of illness, and that's why many people have called me and said, can we do something? Can we do something? And I'm not gonna say yes or no, you know, I want to know what everyone's opinion is. I mean, if perhaps it was an outdoor picnic on Labor Day, Memorial Day, that might be something different. Kathy, I'm sorry, you had your hand up.
She's muted.
Oh, just a minute, Kathy, I'm coming.
You're muted, Kathy, just a minute.
Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
Okay, the only thing I wanted to say was that if we have an off-site event, it's got to be the responsibility of those people coming to make sure they are safe, that they feel safe, that they're well. We can't plan everything with the idea of, are we leaving ourselves open to whether it's a lawsuit or someone getting COVID? They take that responsibility every time they go to the store or they have something delivered to their home. So I think we kind of have to try to move beyond what our legal, we do have a legal responsibility, but so do those attending. So they have to actually be responsible for themselves.
I agree with that. And I think that's great. But does that eliminate the fact that they might sue? Does that take away from the fact that they could sue?
I mean,
If they,
go ahead, I'm sorry, Kathy.
if they stub their toe, does that leave us open to a lawsuit too?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
We have
People can
had-
sue for anything.
Yeah, we've had issues before.
with somebody tripping outside the building.
Well, I don't think it's any different than what I hear is happening now. If people are going to the Royal Scot and they're playing cards, they're choosing to go there and do that. If somebody chose to, if they were hosting bingo in a taco bar, I don't know, I'm making something up, at bingo, people are gonna choose to go there or not. We just make the information available to people and say, this is open and you can do this there. I don't know that we're saying you have to go, or, and we may not be sponsoring it, but maybe we made the arrangements.
Let's not make the arrangements, just,
That's it. You're responsible and
Yeah.
you make the
True,
arrangements.
but
well, I think,
You know, hey, the Wildlife Center can
put that announcement out somehow, right? If they want to do it.
Dennis, what are your thoughts?
Well, I got a bulletin from Meridian Township, which it was like 6 or 8 pages, and their senior center there has scheduled several activities. I can't remember what they were, but I remember thinking, oh my goodness, isn't it too soon to be scheduling things? But they actually have a lot of activities scheduled already. Now, me personally, because I'm a high-risk person, I would probably not attend these things for quite some time just to be safe.
And now what's your thought on an off-site event that we might have for our seniors?
I think if we're gonna have our seniors, they should be on our site. If we're behind it.
No. What they do at Royal Scott, one individual heads the euchre tournament. And that could be, it doesn't have to be one of us. It doesn't have to be the township senior center. It can be any individual heading up this program, whatever, and making it known for anyone that wants to come.
Mhm.
That's what's happening at Royal Scott. One person is heading this up. And it's not Royal Scott doing, it's not any committee doing it.
It's just the location of where it's happening.
Pardon me?
It's just the location of where it's happening.
Correct.
Okay.
I would love to have a bridge tournament. I'm thinking about that myself, you know, a mini bridge tournament, just, you know, and if I had to, I could make it a fundraiser for the senior center, just so we can play bridge.
And if you head that up and do it at the Wildlife Center, I'm sure they're going to allow you that space, and maybe they'll get some proceeds from the sale of food.
Yep.
You know, which they would like.
Well, I guess I'm kind of for the idea. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would probably go. This Dana, can't see me.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, when going to play cards, those that aren't comfortable wear a mask.
Oh, okay.
So, and those that, you know, are totally confident or comfortable, they don't bother. So there are people that have had the shot and they're evidently comfortable without a mask.
So what I'm gonna do is because we're kind of 50-50 split on this, I'm gonna reach out to the Wildlife Pub. I haven't reached out to them to see what their thoughts are, what their concerns are, what their limits are, because I'm sure that they have some limits. And I'm going to share that with you via email or text, and let us not make a decision at this point about this.
Can you also find out if we do something, if they have food available or drinks, or so that we could, you know, make it profitable for them also, or make
Right.
it profitable for them.
Right, right. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about right now?
Yeah, Judy,
Yes.
I'd like to, us in the next couple weeks, think about the price of our meals. And I think everybody should be charged the same price, whether they're outside or not. We furnish a lake for people outside and people here, and we don't charge them anything extra or even charge them for going in our lake. We do our roads, our parks, and I think we should charge the same for outside people as our people in the township.
I agree.
Do you have a recommendation for what that ought to be set at, Al? Have you thought about that?
Oh, I'd like to, I'd like to keep it at 3.5, but for a short time. But it's gonna probably have to go to 4 before we get it set down, but that would bring them down $1 and would bring our people up 50 cents. But also, when they raised it before, they took a survey of the people in there, and most of them would say they would rather pay the $4 and see somebody else outside paying $5.
But at the same time, didn't we lose people?
Yes, we did.
We want to bring our people back. How
Yeah.
we're going to bring them back.
Go ahead.
All right.
Unless you were done. Al approached me about this a couple weeks ago, and I'm open to it if there's support. I thought the $4 was a nice compromise. It brought our people, and when we say our people, the Bath residents up to $4. And it brought the other non-residents down. I think it's kind of a fair in between. I'm in support of it if you all like the idea. So I would like us to talk about it.
What are the other senior centers charging?
I don't
I'll
know.
take that on. I'll find out. That's my job for this week.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Thanks,
Thank
Dana.
you. Thank you, Dana. Can I just get a feel for how people feel about one price no matter where you live? So Al, you would favor that, right?
Yes.
Dennis, how would you feel about that?
I always felt that the outsiders should pay a little bit more because our taxes are paying for our entry. So I didn't think ours should be as high.
Dana?
I think it's easier to sell people if it's all the same price.
Dana?
Yes.
And Nancy?
I feel the same way. One price for all.
Kathy?
One price.
And I would vote for one price too. All right, so,
That vote doesn't count.
no, we're just getting, I just wanted to get a feel for where people were, you know, we didn't.
Yes,
I just think to further the discussion, you know, it's good to know where.
That wasn't supposed to be funny, but yeah. Okay, all right. Sorry.
No, we can talk about it more if you'd like next time, and when we find out what other places charge or if they charge a difference.
Okay.
I feel like it caused some animosity, when that price differential came up.
Yep.
And Al's right, I mean, we talked about, different things in our township that people come here to enjoy. And unfortunately, when they come here for that, we charge them more. So
Yeah.
I think when the former superintendent did that, I do think it caused some hard feelings.
It
And I
did.
also think that if we keep it one price and we are able to draw more people in, it's going to be more beneficial as far as paying for the meal itself and possibly make a little bit. I mean, we can plan meals also that,
Yeah.
you know, a little, anyway,
Yeah.
plan meals so that's
I
cost
agree.
wise.
Mhm.
And there are some people that did leave before when the price went up that if we do go down in price, it would be nice to be able to contact them and say, hey, we dropped the price just in case you're interested in coming back.
Sure.
Right, because
Did
we
any
did
of
lose
them-
some really nice people
And
that,
regulars, we did,
Right.
yes.
some really nice people.
Did we lose anybody from Bath Township people from $3 to $3.50?
No.
Okay,
I don't
Not that
think
I
so.
noticed.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
all right.
Okay, good. It's time for Karen's report.
Okay, so as a board, we have been working on, as I mentioned, the COVID vaccine, making that mandatory for staff. The board is going to consider that at their next meeting. So if that's something you're interested in, most of us are getting the shot. I'm excited. I'm going to be getting my shot tomorrow, my first shot of Moderna. So I'm very excited. The board has also been working on the 2 ordinances for adult recreational marijuana, so that we could have a business locate themselves in the township of Bath. That's been and it's been interesting for me because I grew up during a time where it was a huge stigma on marijuana, and times have changed. And I know that the state voted to legalize it here. So it's been interesting as the superintendent here to walk through this process with the board and the community. And it's somewhere I never thought I would be, and something I never thought I'd be discussing, but it makes for interesting times. And I think that our board and the planning commission have been very thoughtful. And I say that because it's taken 60 some meetings for us to arrive where we've arrived, to make sure that it's right for this community. And many of you may or may not know that the medical marijuana passed, and there's a facility that's starting to organize and obtain their permits to start their facility on M78 for medical marijuana, which many people feel much differently about than the recreational side of things. So that will be coming to Bath. A lot of you have noted that the food bank is coming along right next to us. I believe that if they don't already have their occupancy, they're very close to obtaining their occupancy.
They're open.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. I didn't see trucks coming and going. So thank you for that. Thanks, Judy. I think we were talking earlier that some jobs are being opened up by that facility becoming open. I believe that if they're open, they've already transitioned their facilities from over by the airport to here and are operating. And I know that I've even talked with my staff about going over there and potentially donating some time to packing some food up and helping over there. So we're very excited to have that in town. I'm trying to think of other things that we've worked on recently. Does anybody have questions for me? I don't want to take away from you because
I
you're.
want to know what my report.
I just stole Al's report.
Great to have you both sitting at the same table then.
We should have coordinated. If you think of anything for me, let me know. I was talking about we're ready to have our books audited for 2020. We have a new auditing firm, Siegfried and Crandall, that's going to be auditing us this year. We're very excited. Treasurer Wiswasser and I worked very hard this last year, and I'm proud of the work we did. I think things are done correctly and they're done consistently around here, and we've made a lot of headway and are doing some really great things for this township. So I'm excited to go through my first full audit with a budget that I put together. So it's kind of scary and it's kind of exciting all at the same time. So, but our staff is healthy. Our police department, our fire department are healthy. And I can't ask for more than that right now. And they've all got good attitudes and they're all working hard. So.
Thank you, Karen. Does anyone have any questions for Karen? It's great to have you at our meetings, Karen.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We really enjoy your input, and it's great to have you to bounce ideas off of and to work together with, and we greatly appreciate your time and your efforts.
I appreciate that.
Al, how about you? Anything to report?
The only thing is that medical marijuana over here is going to have a bakery.
Bakery.
A diner. I think it's a diner.
It's a diner?
I've been told
It's a little coffee shop.
Yeah, the pictures they showed us was mainly they were selling coffee and marijuana in their products.
I think you can get coffee without marijuana.
No, but the coffee and the donuts.
I won't be buying brownies.
I will.
They say it might help. Nancy.
Yeah, get rid of some of these old age aches.
And I'm awful glad to be in here with you guys. I think that the Senior Advisory Committee is ready to take a hold when they can start again. And, it's just nice to hear all your voices again.
It's nice to have you with us, Al. Anyone else? Anybody from the committee have any comments? Anything they want to say? We still have no, Nancy?
I say, I guess we're all set. I
Nancy,
don't hear anybody saying anything.
I hear Nancy.
I have a question. When they go back to whenever we can open, are we going I know we're going to start out slow, but what is the plan? Is it going to be back to this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or every day?
So I would like to explore that with you all next time, because Tuesday and Thursdays were really sad. I believe that they were I don't want to disparage anyone, but they were poorly attended. And I know that we wanted desperately for that to work, but those were some of the most poorly attended days, and they always kind of were our down days. I know the Tuesdays were doing, I think they were doing a little better with the food being brought in from outside, but I may have that wrong. So I really am open to what you guys think about Tuesday and Thursdays. I mean, Monday, Wednesday, Friday were always off the charts,
Yeah, I like 3 days.
Me too.
but I really would like input from all of you.
Yes.
Well, I think we should consider, even if we don't have food on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think we might want to consider still being open for a few hours there so people can still come to play cards and any other games or whatever that they want to.
It's not gonna have the volume there to play. Well, never mind. Who knows?
Judy, could we put that on for next month?
Yes, I have days of opening Monday, Wednesday, Friday versus 4 days versus 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas for activities, meal prices. So those are the things that I have out of today's meeting for us to discuss next month, along with the strategic plan, which hopefully you all will have had a chance to look at. That's what I have. So our next meeting is April 22nd at 6 o'clock on Zoom. Thank you all very much for your time.
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, bye.